You poor unfortunate souls in pain, in need. Y'all, it's that time of the year, spooky season, Halloween time. Woo! And you know me, I always bring you guys Halloween looks and tutorials so y'all can do for your Halloween parties or Halloween trick-or-treating or whatever you're doing for the Halloween season. But we are starting earlier this year, so that way I need you guys to have a lot of time to get your costume and your looks together. So of course I had to do Ursula. This is probably one of my most requested looks to do, is to do a Ursula look, and I did a glam version of Miss Ursula. She already is glamorous, but I did my own version. So enough chit chatting, let's get straight into this tutorial. Hey babes, it's your girl Zoe Bay, and welcome to my Halloween makeup series. Before we get into today's video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe to my channel, and follow me on all my social media platforms at It's A Bay Bay. So I already prepped my skin with my favorite moisturizer and primer, and we're going right into the face painting. I am using Super Beauty's face paints, and unfortunately, they're no longer in business, which really sucks, but they have amazing paints. But y'all know, if you watch any of my videos from the previous years, I love using Mermaid because the Mermaid stick acts like a foundation. It has that creamy texture. What I like to do, I like to take a nice dense brush and I like to stipple on the foundation, working on parts of my face. So I like to work on the cheek first, and I like to work on the next cheek, and I like to work on the forehead until I get my entire face covered, but we're going to leave under the eyes blank. So now we're going to start highlighting the center of her face using a white paint. And that's the reason why I left under the eye blank, because the less product under your eyes, the less creasing is going to happen. And I like to work in sections. So because this paint dries really quickly, I have to blend it out immediately or it's going to leave a weird patch. It's always important to know what your product is like and how it reacts to your skin, so that way you know the proper way to use the product. And as I'm blending, to make sure I get rid of that harsh edge, I like to go back in with my foundation brush with the purple paint and like to blend it on top of it, so that way we get a nice seamless blend. And you repeat this on the other eye, and you repeat it on your forehead, on your chin, and even on your upper lip. And this is going to add more dimension to your face, because if you were to paint your face all purple, you'll look so flat and look low-key kind of creepy. So you have to make sure you add dimension, and that's why I love using white, because it just adds that nice darkness to any color. To be honest, this technique is great to use with any color foundation, whether it's purple, pink, blue, green, orange. I always love to use a bright white. Sometimes I like to mix a white with a little bit of my foundation color to get a lighter purple, but because I want a very dramatic look for this character, I'm going in with a bright white paint. Now it's time to set the highlighted area, and I like to use a translucent powder. I'm using one from ColourPop, and I like to use a powder puff to really press in the powder to really set the paint, because you do not want the paint to budge whatsoever. You want to make sure it stay put. So I'm definitely putting a generous amount all over my face. I'm gonna let it sit for about 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna take a big brush and brush off all the excess. And surprisingly, this translucent powder is very pigmented. Like, it definitely intensified the white under my eyes. So next I'm going with the Makeup Murder Poison Pigment, and I'm using this pigment to just set the rest of my face wherever it's purple. And I'm also gonna put the purple on top of the white part, so that way it kind of like softens the white. It's not too aggressive, and it just blends a lot better. And when you're applying the pigment all over the purple part of your face, make sure you're really pressing it into the skin, because you want to ensure that you are setting the paint. This is going to create longevity if you decide to wear these looks outside. I even went in with a powder puff and started pressing the pigment a little bit more into the skin. I even took some of the purple pigment with the powder puff and pressed it on top of the highlighted areas of my face. That way it created like a lighter purple, so it looks more natural and blended in a little bit better with the rest of my purple face. Now it's time to contour. I'm going in with Norvina Cosmetics Pro Palette in Volume 1, and I love this palette because it's a purple palette. It has all the shades that work well with purple. I'm going in with a big fluffy brush, and I'm starting to contour my face, focusing on the hollows of my cheeks, so that way I have like a nice snatch face, you know, because Ursula, she still got a snatch face, but we're giving her a snatch face, okay? When it comes to contouring, this is a very easy tip that you guys can follow. I like to use 2 contour shades, a very deep color and then a transition color. The deep color is going to help me create that contour look, and then that transition color is going to be the middle color to help blend the contour into my foundation color. And I love this technique because if you're not really good at blending seamlessly to get that like dark to light shade, using that middle color will help create that transition shade for you guys. So that's what I like to do, and that's what I did for this look, and I repeated that around the perimeter of my face, my jawline, my cheekbone with one shade, and then went over again with a lighter shade to make everything blend seamlessly. For nose contouring, I like to start my nose contouring at the top of my nose. So your nose connects to the eye socket to your brows, so I like to really deepen that area first. It really starts to create the shape of your nose, and then I like to slowly bring it down, and then I like to start shading the tip of my nose. But the main thing is you really want to create the depth at the top of your nose. That is so important. That's really going to create the whole shape that you're looking for. And I want a very dramatic nose contour, so that's why I'm going in a little bit more heavier. And then I'm going in with a white eyeshadow on the sides of my nose just to sharpen it a bit more, make it look a little bit more cleaner and a little more snatched. For brows, I'm using Ava Beauty's Felt Tip Eyeliner. I first sketched it out with eyeshadow, that way I got the shape that I want before I went in with the eyeliner. I didn't really do the over-exaggerated eyebrows like Ursula. I kind of want mine to be a bit more glam, a bit more fierce. I just feel like those brows would be a little bit too crazy for me, to be honest. You can do exaggerate if you want to, just saying. And I'm going in with the same white paint that I used to highlight my face with, and I'm using that under my brows because I want a very bright highlighted brow bone so it can imitate Ursula's big, big eyes. And then I'm just thickening up the brows a little bit more because I felt like the paint kind of took away from it. And you want to make sure you get the white paint blended really perfectly under your eyes because you need it to be nice and soft so you can start blending your eyeshadow on top of it. First, I'm going in with a gray shade and I'm applying this above my crease because we're doing an exaggerated look and Ursula has really big eyes, so you have to over exaggerate it. That's why I block my brows to create a new brow so I have more eyelid space. So right now I'm just applying the gray and I'm blending it up and outwards to create a lifted look. Right under the gray, I'm going to start applying black shadow. This is going to create more depth to the eye and also have a great contrast with the black and the blue lid. And I'm applying the shadow in small circular motions and also winging it up and out to give me a more lifted look. And you also want to layer your black shadow because the more you blend it out, the more gray it looks, and we want it to be a bit more black than gray. So for the lid, I'm going to be using P. Louise Nitro paint and I'm applying this over my lid and I'm exaggerating above my crease because I have to make sure my eyelids look as big and wild as Ursula. So right now I'm just applying it and I'm not doing a cut crease because I want it to be more like a soft cut crease, and a soft cut crease is where you're not actually cutting the lid, you're just like applying the color and you're just softly going to blend it in with the next color. So right now I'm just tapping on the paint and make sure I have the shape that I want. And then I'm going to start going in with a fluffy brush. I'm going to start blending out the edges so it's not a harsh edge and it blends into the black. So don't blend out the blue way too much because you want to have a distinct line or distinct difference between the crease and the lid. So next I'm going in with this metallic shadow from a brand that no longer exists, but I'm going in with a fluffy brush and I'm applying it on top of the paint. Also applying it around the perimeter of the lid so that way it just softens up the edges, because sometimes when you use the paint it has a very sharp edge if you're not like blending it as much as possible. So I feel like adding a metallic eyeshadow on top of it and blending it into the black just softens it a little bit more. So once we have that, we're going to go back in with the black and we're using a very, very small like bullet shaped brush and we're applying it just above the lid, and this is going to intensify the lid and add a bit more depthness, and you're going to actually bring the black back because like I said, when you blend out black a lot it's going to look gray. So doing this tip is going to help like bring the black in and add more depth. I'm going back in with metallic eyeshadow again. I'm going to start blending it back into the black, and I'm going to keep doing this back and forth until I get the shade and the depth that I want. Going in with some pigment from Peaches. I can't remember the name of it because it's wiped off the bottle, but I'm using this to apply it to the center of the eye. That way it just adds like a roundness and like a dimension to the eyelid. It's just not just one dimensional. I just love the gradient that it makes. And I'm also adding a little bit of highlight to the inner corner so I can have a bigger eye. Taking the paint again, I'm bringing it to my lower lash line because I didn't know that she actually had a blue eyeliner as well too. So the same blue on her eyes, also on her waterline. So I'm going to bring it down and I'm going to start like blending it out. And then I'm going to take a bit of purple and I'm going to start like outlining the bottom of the lower lash line so that way it just has the appearance of like bigger eyes. By now, y'all know I love Aldora false lashes when it comes to any of my creative or spooky season looks. So I'm going in with this lash. At first, I went with the XL one. I put it on. I'm like, you know what? This is a little bit too long. So I end up going with the B802, and I thought it was a lot better. It wasn't too crazy, it wasn't too long. So I went with the smaller version. And then obviously I have to put some mascara on, a little bit of liner just to blend everything together. I was looking at this look and I'm like, I'm missing something. I'm missing some bling, some pearls. So I got some rhinestones and some pearls and I applied different shapes and sizes all over my eyes. And I felt like this just added more oomph to the look. Going in with a slightly brighter purple to create the illusion of blush. But like I said, I don't want blush because she doesn't really wear blush, but I just need to add a little bit more of a brighter color to my face. And next I'm going with Color Rain Lavender Dreams highlighter, and this is like a purple highlighter, and I felt like it worked great with my look. The only thing is, like, when you turn to the side, you get like this really weird like dark shadow cast on my cheeks, which I just didn't like, but it is what it is. It looks really nice when I'm facing the side. Now it's time for the iconic red lips, going in with Lawless Beauty Lip Liner and True Love. And I'm exaggerating my lips because I want my lips to look big and juicy. I mean, they're already big and juicy, but like, it's a character look. We can exaggerate our features because we can. So right now I'm just lining my lips with it, and I'm also filling inside. And this is such a creamy lip liner. I'm like, damn, it is like melted really, really quickly. I also went back to like, add more like depth to my lips, like gave more of a cupid's bow to the rounded lip. As much as I love a rounded lip, I just feel like I needed more like shape. And I'm going with the Trixie Cosmetics lip gloss and just add it on top of it. And oh my god, I was like, this is the look. It may look more pinky on camera, but in person it's definitely red. And this is your favorite sea witch, Ursula. I love how this look turned out, especially when you put the wig on. I'm like, yes, it's giving glam Ursula. The wig is from Outre, the Swoop series. I'll put in the description box below if you want to get the same wig I'm wearing. And personally for me, I like to invest in really good wigs, like really good synthetic wigs, so that way I don't have to wear it just for cosplay. And then for my body, I didn't actually paint my body at all. This is a long sleeve mesh shirt that I got from Shein. I'll also put in the description box below, and that's what I like to wear when I'm doing like a body paint. So that way I have the appearance of a painted body without actually painting my body. And I like the fact that it's mesh material, that way it's more breathable and it's not as thick, so I can wear it out if I have to. The jewelry is from TJ Maxx, and they have amazing affordable Halloween jewelry if you need any. And this is my completed look. This is my Ursula Sea Witch look. I absolutely love it, and I can't wait to show you guys the rest of the Halloween looks I'm creating for the Halloween season. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys again in another video. Bye!